Hello, back here for another Bible reading video. It is February 15th, 2026, and 9:47 p.m. Today was my sister's birthday, so happy we got to celebrate with her. It was really fun, and I had a basketball game today. I didn't play well, which was weird. I kind of felt lightheaded during the game, and I don't know if you can see this. There's some red marks. This guy was hacking me the whole game, so you know, can only get too many shots off, but it is what it is. Also, I don't know why I've been thinking about starting a band, but I can't sing. I can't play any instruments except for piano. But like, it's been a minute since I've done piano, so I don't really know. But we'll see. Maybe I'll start a band. Maybe I'll start taking some guitar lessons or something. I have an uncle who's really good at playing guitar, but he's like a prodigy, so I don't think that's been passed down to your boy. But maybe with hard work, we can get a little bit of skills. Anyway, we're on Exodus chapter 10. Ooh, this is a brutal one. The plague of locusts. If you know what locusts are, they are absolutely disgusting. And I actually think, given that I'm a major dinosaur fan, in Jurassic World Dominion, which is a horrible movie, there are mutant locusts, and that's supposed to be a big part of the plot. It was kind of underexplored, but I thought that was an interesting idea that they were basically sending out hordes of mutant locusts to destroy crops, because if you don't know, locusts destroy crops. That's the main problem with that insect. So let's actually see if some crops are eaten in today's chapter. So without further ado, Exodus chapter 10, the plague of locusts. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Go to Pharaoh, for I have hardened his heart and the hearts of his officials, so that I may perform these signs of mine among them. And you may tell your children and grandchildren how I dealt harshly with the Egyptians, and how I performed my signs among them, and that you may know that I am the Lord." So Moses and Aaron went to Pharaoh and said to him, "This is what the Lord, the God of the Hebrews, says. How long will you refuse to humble yourself before me? Let my people go so that they may worship me. If you refuse to let them go, I will bring locusts into your country tomorrow. They will cover the face of the ground so that it cannot be seen. They will devour what little you have left after the hail, including every tree that is growing in your fields. They will fill your houses and those of all your officials and all the Egyptians, something neither your parents nor your ancestors have ever seen from the day they settled in this land till now." Then Moses turned and left Pharaoh. Pharaoh's officials said to him, "How long will this man be a snare to us? Let the people go, so that they may worship the Lord their God. Do you not yet realize that Egypt is ruined?" Then Moses and Aaron were brought back to Pharaoh. "Go, worship the Lord your God," he said. "But tell me who will be going." Moses answered, "We will go with our young and our old, with our sons and our daughters, and with our flocks and herds, because we are to celebrate a festival to the Lord." Pharaoh said, "The Lord be with you. If I let you go, along with your women and children, clearly you are bent on evil. No, have only the men go and worship the Lord, since that's what you have been asking for." Then Moses and Aaron were driven out of Pharaoh's presence. And the Lord said to Moses, "Stretch out your hand over Egypt so that locusts swarm over the land and devour everything growing in the fields, everything left by the hail." So Moses stretched out his staff over Egypt, and the Lord made an east wind blow across the land all that day and all that night. By morning the wind had brought the locusts. They invaded all Egypt and settled down in every area of the country in great numbers. Never before had there been such a plague of locusts, nor will there ever be again. They covered all the ground until it was black. They devoured all that was left after the hail, everything growing in the fields and the fruit on the trees. Nothing green remained on a tree or plant in all the land of Egypt. Pharaoh quickly summoned Moses and Aaron and said, "I have sinned against the Lord your God and against you. Now forgive my sin once more, and pray to the Lord your God to take this deadly plague away from me." Moses then left Pharaoh and prayed to the Lord. And the Lord changed the wind to a very strong west wind, which caught up the locusts and carried them into the Red Sea. Not a locust was left anywhere in Egypt. But the Lord hardened Pharaoh's heart. He would not let the Israelites go. The plague of darkness. Then the Lord said to Moses, "Stretch out your hand toward the sky so that darkness spreads over Egypt, darkness that can be felt." So Moses stretched out his hand toward the sky, and total darkness covered all Egypt for 3 days. No one could see anyone else or move about for 3 days. Yet all the Israelites had light in the places where they lived. Then Pharaoh summoned Moses and said, "Go worship the Lord. Even your women and children may go with you. Only leave your flocks and herds behind." But Moses said, "You must allow us to have sacrifices and burnt offerings to present to the Lord our God. Our livestock too must go with us. Not a hoof is to be left behind. We have to use some of them in worshiping the Lord our God. And until we get there, we will not know what we are to use to worship the Lord." But the Lord hardened Pharaoh's heart, and he was not willing to let them go. Pharaoh said to Moses, "Get out of my sight. Make sure you do not appear before me again. The day you see my face, you will die." "Just as you say," Moses replied. "I will never appear before you again." Okay, so there's the chapter. So I was right about the locusts. They do cause serious damage to crops and apparently fruits on trees. All checks out. Wow, I lost my marker. Interesting that Pharaoh makes some pretty nonsensical claims, like you're going to take the women and children for wickedness outside of Egypt. But I don't know. The Lord is hardening his heart, so he's going to say some crazy stuff to justify his position when he should just let the Israelites go. But that's not in God's plan. He wants to make an example out of Egypt. And I don't think, even though I'd like to say that God's gripe is with slavery in Exodus, as much as I would like to say that, I don't think that's really why God is making an example out of Egypt. I believe he's more so doing it because his people, the Israelites, the chosen people, are being basically worked to death and are being taken advantage of. So, yeah, not too sure how to feel about that, but it's God's word, so it is what it is. All right. And wow, next chapter 11, is going to be the plague on the firstborn, which, if you know anything about that, that is a crazy chapter. Excuse me. All right, I think that's all I got today. So, it's daytime. Have a blessed day. It's nighttime or evening. Have a blessed night/evening. Thank you very much. Bye.